All right. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Claire, and I am here to do a spring paint night with you all. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. So thank you for welcoming me back. I'm going to share my screen first, and I will show you the painting that we will be doing today. Throughout the steps today, if you need me to repeat anything, please let me know. If you need me to slow down, let me know. You can mute yourself or unmute yourself if you have a question, or you can even type in the chat box, whatever is easiest for you. Yeah, so just let me know if there's anything I can do tonight to help you guys out as well. So to begin, this is the painting that we are going to be doing today. Can you all see this?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to be painting two flowers with a little ladybug on it. A cute little spring painting, even though it's snowing today. So we're going to be starting with our background. So you see here, it is a blue and white combination. So when we paint this, we want it to be quite thin because we don't want to have to wait too long to paint over top of it, okay? So we will be starting with the background. And again, we don't want to make the paint too thick. So we're going to be starting painting the whole back. So with your colors, you're going to need to start with white and blue. So I think I have the same colors that you guys do.
Yeah.
So we're going to be starting with our lightest color. So we're going to use our white and just a tiny drop of blue. So I can show you what that looks like. We're going to mix that up and we're going to start with the bottom of our painting. So the bottom will be the lightest color and the top will be our darkest color. I will share this my picture one more time, but as you can see in that picture, it does go lighter to darker at the top. There are some lines in between, as you can see the colors mixing. You can choose to make it one straight color if you want. You can choose to copy this picture as well. I'll share it one more time. Here, as you can see, there are some white lines in the top of the blue there. So the bottom of the painting is a lot lighter than the top. I can show you how to do that after, but we're going to be starting by mixing up our lightest color. So here I have my white on my palette here. There's just some white paint, and I'm going to add just a dot of blue to it. Remember, you can always add more paint when we need it, but that's all I'm using right now because I want to make the layer very thin because we will be painting over top of it.
What size brush is?
You'll want to use your bigger brush for this one, just because we're just kind of painting the whole back there.
So a big brush?
Yeah, that one looks great.
Okay.
When I mix this up, this is kind of the color that I have here. You can't, my colors aren't great right now because of my window here, but it is a little bit blue. And I'm just going to be painting the entire canvas here. So, sorry, my lighting's not super great. Again, if there are streaks in your painting, that is totally okay.
The line down the side of my computer that has everybody's faces, and they're nice to look at. But the thing is that every time you hold it up, it's behind all those people. How can I ever?
Too. Also, if you click, so in your the top of your screen on the top right hand side, so this side,
Right.
There should be something that says view. So you can make the people at the top of your screen.
Oh, okay.
Also, when I share my picture, I can make sure to share it on this side too, if that's easier.
Okay, that's probably easier than me trying to figure this out right now.
No problem.
Appreciate that.
How far up how far up are we painting?
So we want to paint the entire background.
Oh, of the lighter color.
Yeah, so we're going to be making, so as you add your blue, or sorry, as you add your background, so you're going to make this your lighter color. And then for the top color, you're going to add just a smidge more blue as you go up your canvas.
Oh, okay.
To make almost like a gradient effect. Remember, we don't want to make it too thick because it will take longer to dry.
And how can we stop it from running down, dripping?
Use a little bit less paint on your brush. So here's my background. There is a slight gradient, even though you can't really see it. So to get those lines in the background now, I'm either going to use it, depending if you want them darker blue or if you want them white. I'll share the picture after I show you this as well. So I'm going to add some blue ones first. So right now I have my blue color on my brush. It is darker, as you see. I think I need to move this way. There we go. I'm just going to go over top of that wet paint with that blue. So if I go up close, you can kind of see some blue lines in there. But you can just add onto that wet paint your either white or your dark blue, depending on which one you want. I'll show you it with the white next. So I'm just gonna, with my brush, even though it's got some blue and stuff on it still.
So you just use pure blue?
Pure blue or pure white. I'm gonna do a little bit of both, but as you can see, it kind of gets that cloud effect there. And the top of my painting is still a little bit wet, so it blends nicely, not adding too many streaks there. So I'm only adding that to the top part of that painting there. So if you want me to show the canvas I'm working on now, let me know, or if you want me to share my screen for that, the example piece as well, let me know. Once you are done with your sky, no rush on that, you can clean your brush.
I see a hand raised there. Was there a question or was it a question that was already answered?
I believe that was about the light blue question.
Okay, perfect.
At a canvas this thin, do we need to paint the size as well?
I know, that's okay.
I think that's good.
So we'll show mine one more time. The quality of this camera is not super great, but that's okay. And then I'm just gonna let this dry because we're gonna be painting on top of it. So we want our background to be fully dry before we start the next step. And take your time on the sky here too.
Mhm. Okay.
How's everyone's skies coming along?
So far, so good.
Oh, I see some. They look great. Marlene, yours looks wonderful.
Cute.
Oh, and Sue, yours is great too. Janice.
These are looking awesome. I'm trying to learn the less is more. Yeah, less is more sometimes. I usually overdo it.
I think mine looks more like the ocean.
Oh, it looks great.
I said I'm drinking blue Gatorade and my water for my brush is turning blue, so I hope I remember which one is which.
I have drank paint water before and I don't recommend it. I made sure to get a different colored can today. I'm just gonna dry my canvas a little bit. All right, if I give you guys another 2 minutes on this step, do you think that's enough time?
Yes.
Okay. So when I explain the next step, I will share the screen, and we will be using our green next, okay? So if you want to shake up your green, you can, or maybe if there's plastic around it, you can undo that. That's our next color we're going to be using today. So we're going to be starting with our grass next. So we do want to make sure that the bottom of our canvas is dry, and our grass will be however tall or short you want it. Remember, everybody's painting is going to look a little bit different. Also, when we get to the other details, you can choose to make your own unique as well. So we're going to be starting with our grass. We're just going to be using our green, and we'll be adding a little bit more detail after, but I will show you here. So we're going to be doing the grass at the bottom. You can see here that there is a little bit of yellow. We're going to be doing that after. So we're just starting with our green and adding our grass however long you want your grass to be. And in the bottom here, you can see there are some longer ones coming up too. So that just kind of adds another little grass effect there. They're not all the exact same. It's not fully straight, but we're going to be adding the grass maybe about a fifth or so of your canvas at the bottom. We do want our background to be pretty dry, or else our colors will blend a little bit. But we're going to be starting with that step here, just the grass, however long and short you want that to be.
I remember with one of the ones we did that you did grass, but I don't remember how you did it. If you could show.
Yeah, of
quickly.
course. So I'm going to be using not my large brush that I used for the background, but a smaller brush here. So for the grass, can everybody see the canvas here?
Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to be doing wisps of grass, just painting upwards and adding. And if I want a longer piece, I can just go up through it, and you can always go over top of that too to make it darker and thicker as well. So just pretty much straight lines. They don't have to be perfectly straight because grass is never perfectly straight, but we're just doing lines. You can go up if you want them to be a little bit more wispy, or just straight down if you're more comfortable with that movement. So we're just starting with our green. The green that we have here is a little bit lighter than the one in the other picture. That's okay. I have the same green that you guys have here.
And what are you doing on one side with that?
I just haven't finished that side yet, so
Okay.
I'm working my way
Okay.
over. this is the grass that I have settled on.
Can you see mine?
Oh, it looks great, David.
Yeah, but the point is that it's you have negative white space partly down your grass, whereas I just brushed the whole butt.
Yeah, that looks great.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. While your grass is wet, we are going to add a little bit, just a tiny bit of yellow to our canvas, or sorry, to our palette. And that's just going to add a little bit more detail. So we're not doing too much of it. And we can still use our dirty green brush because it'll help blend a little bit more too. But we're going to be adding just a few strokes of yellow in there. I don't know if you can see that right here.
Yeah. Okay. That's how you're getting the negatives.
Yeah. So we're adding just a few strokes of yellow just for a little bit of light onto our grass there. So that's just a little bit more detail if that's what you'd like to add to your grass. Again, you can make it unique, make it your own. If you'd like to keep it just green, you can. If you want to add just a little bit of yellow or a lot of yellow, whatever your heart desires for your grass here. You don't need to clean your brush after. We're still going to be using the green for our next step too. How's everyone's grass looking so far? Oh, they look wonderful. Nice job.
Is that an easel that she has? That she's
Yes.
What a great idea.
Using an easel. It's very smart. Oh, nice job.
I'm getting paint all over my computer. I should maybe
no.
I should maybe cover it up with something. Well, it's gonna look sparkly.
There you go. Good job, Andrea. All right, so it looks like everybody's coming along with their grass. So while we have our wet green brush, we are going to add our stems. I will share the screen. You can make them going any direction you want. The picture that I'm going to be showing you has one going this way, one going the other. We're only going to be focusing on the stems and the leaves right now. I will share the screen and show you. So this short one here has one leaf. If you want to add two, feel free. And this long one here, this little bit of green up here near the ladybug, don't worry about that yet. We're not going to be getting to that step quite yet. We are just focusing on our stems and our leaves. The long stems and our leaves. So you can make them going in the same direction as this picture. You can make them going in different directions. You can make them the same height, different height, however you would like to. The only thing I would recommend is having one of them curve enough that you can have a ladybug sitting on top. Again, you can add more than one ladybug too if you want, but we're just working on our stems right now.
Using the same green, right?
That same green that we used for our grass. So if you would like, I can share my screen while I do the leaves, if that's something that would be helpful. So I have my stems here. They're quite similar to the other one. But when I do my leaf, I'm going to think of almost like a raindrop or a teardrop kind of. I gotta go this way a bit. So I'm going to start with the tip of my leaf and then add like a big ball almost onto the bottom. That kind of shape, and then I'm just going to fill it in. And just like you did with your grass, you can add a little bit of that yellow detailing onto your stem and your leaves. I will share the photo again while you do your leaves and your stems if you would like to look at the shapes and the colors for those. But as you can see on the tips of some of the leaves there, and in the middle of the small stem especially, there is a little bit of yellow just for that little light detailing, if that's something you would like to add to yours as well. And when you are happy with your stems, you can wash your brush.
I have problems with things that are monochromatic or things with similar colors, and I had some blue in my palette and I realized I was getting my green and my blue mixed up.
Blue leaf would always be fun.
Pardon?
I said a blue leaf would be fun.
It looks in the picture like there's some black or something in the leaves. Is there?
Yeah, they're just using a darker green than we are.
Oh, okay.
That looks really nice, Janice.
Thanks.
Is everybody okay for our next step?
No.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, no problem. Maybe another minute and then we can move on.
Can you show us yours again?
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, great job, Sharon. So for our next step, we are going to be needing our yellow to begin and then just a smidge of our red. We are going to be mixing up an orange, but just starting with yellow, we're going to be with our longer stem here. We're going to be adding, I'm backwards when I'm looking at my screen, the center of our flower. It is quite small, but we're going to be starting with a yellow circle. So we're going to do the full thing yellow and then adding our orange onto the bottom afterwards. So while our yellow is wet, when you add that orange onto the bottom, it'll help blend it. So I will share my screen here so you can get an idea of what that is going to look like. So as you can see, we're going to be doing a full yellow circle right here and then adding that orange into the bottom, and it'll blend to make that nice shading into the bottom of that center of the flower there. So you'll use your smaller brush for this one, and just starting with your circle of your flower, wherever you'd like that to be. And it is kind of an oval shape there. And also when we are mixing that orange color, I recommend using a lot of yellow and just a smidge of red. Red will darken our yellow very quickly, and we can always add more. It's a lot easier to add more red as we go than adding more yellow. We'll need much more yellow to counteract that red. So
Now the circle, is that beyond the stem because you want to leave room for the leaves or the petals?
in this one, it is a little bit, but because we are using acrylic paint, if you do have that circle touching our white, once the green is dry, the white here will cover that green. So if it is touching, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
I did have mine a little bit away from it. As you can see, I
Okay.
just started with my yellow here, and I'm going to add my orange on top of that wet yellow paint. And just a dab of red into my yellow. I can show you mixing that too if you would like. So I'm going to use my already wet and dirty yellow brush and just one little dot of red. There we go. So as you can see, I have my yellow blob with just a small smidge of red in there. It's kind of dripping a little bit there. But as I mix that, you see how powerful that red is there? It's already changed that whole color quite a bit. So to my wet circle here, I'm going to be adding that orange on to the bottom and just blending it in. From afar, it looks like the underneath part is in like a shadow from that, the light coming in from the top. And once you're happy with that, you can wash that yellow brush.
Can you show the orange and yellow dot again?
let me know if you'd like me to share the example as well.
Oh, it's.
I just dipped my paintbrush in my drinking water.
Oh no. There.
Is everybody ready for our next step?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so our next step, we will be using our clean brush and our white paint. So we are going to be doing the exciting step of creating petals around that yellow center.
Oh boy.
So I like to think of the shape of the petals similar to the leaves, where they're pointed at the top and a little bit rounded at the bottom. I have done 3 petals here to show you. So I've spread them out so you can see the shape. And then I'm just going to fill around that center circle there. So as you can see, the shape is pointed at the top, a little bit rounded at the bottom. If you want to make more of like a daisy petal as well, where it's all like kind of like an oval shape, you can totally do that too. But this is just an example here of the shapes of the petals that I'm going to be doing, and then I'm going to fill that entire circle around. So I'll share the example as well, and you can see the shapes and how many petals we're going to be kind of going for. Again, if you want to create a different shape of petal, feel free to do that. Everyone's painting is going to be unique. So we are going to be adding our petals around that full top circle there.
Can you show us how you do your petals?
Yes, of course. All right, so I can start one here. I might bring my computer a little closer so you can see in more detail here. All right. There we go. Can everybody see this here? Okay. If I move over this way, maybe. Oh, wrong way. There we go. There we go. So I'm going to be starting with almost like a bottom of my petal there, and then just going straight up to the top, and then filling that in. Again, you can make them point any direction you want. You can also make them more loopy if you want to. I can show you an example of a more of a loopy one as well. So if you wanted to just do like a daisy and make them all that round oval like that as well, you can do so. And then just fill it in and you've got a petal. And then you can also add little petals in between them too once you get there. But just basically filling it in with however many petals you would like around your center here. And I'm just going to slowly make my way around that entire flower.
So we haven't done anything about the beetle yet, have we?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Did I see the picture again?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm enjoying this, but it's a lot of detailed visual stuff, so I need to go take 5. Okay.
No problem. Yeah. I can show you my flower now. I've added those bigger petals and smaller ones in the back. So from afar, it looks like that. Oh, beautiful, Sue. Our flowers look like they're from the same garden.
I forgot I had yellow paint on my brush and now my petals are yellow.
It's like a sunflower.
Yeah, a little bit.
The white isn't really popping out. It might be the quality of my paint. But
Yeah, if you do want to make it brighter, you can always add onto it later once it's dry as well.
Oh,
But the
okay.
thicker the paint is, the like darker it will be.
Yeah.
So, like
Okay.
some of my petals, you can see the blue through a little bit, but then some of them, the ones that I've overlapped a little bit, are a bit brighter.
Yeah.
So while we're working on our petals, we are going to be adding petals to this stem as well. So these ones are going to be slightly different because we don't have a center of a flower to go around. We are just going to make our petals kind of fan out, almost like only halfway, maybe a little bit over halfway, but we just want to fan our petals out halfway this way. I'll share the screen so you can see the example there. But basically we want to start our petals this way and fan all the way around to about here. So I'm not finishing my flower on this side here, just fanning out to go that way. I'll share the screen so you can kind of get more of a better visual on that one. So this is our flower that's kind of wilted a little bit to the side there. And we're going to be adding that green afterwards there. But we're just focusing on those white petals while we're doing our other flower too. While we're focusing on some petals, we can add our petals to that second stem. And once you are done those petals, you can wash your brush. This is how mine looks right now. We will be adding a little bit more detail to that one.
So your petals form a circle, a solid circle, don't they?
So right here, I have not finished the full circle
Okay.
around here. Not quite a full circle. You want to look at that.
Mm.
How's everyone's flowers coming along? Oh, very nice. Oh, beautiful, Heather and Janice. Wow. Darlene and Danielle, Andrea, they're all beautiful. Oh, David. Wonderful. Was everybody okay for the next step?
Yes.
All right. So while we let this dry, we're not going to add the green quite yet. We're going to come back to it after. So our next step is our ladybug. We're going to be doing the red of our ladybug to start. Then we'll go back to that while our ladybug dries as well. So this one is just a semicircle. We're just going to be doing a half circle on top of your stem here. Just a little half circle. And you can make it however big you would like to, however big you want your ladybug. I will share the screen to show you the example as well. We're just doing the red of our ladybug right now. Just a little half circle on top of that stem there. So I can show you mine in progress right now. I've done a little half circle here of where I want my ladybug to go. And then I'm just going to fill that in with my red. My colors aren't really this dark. I think it's just my lighting. This isn't super great. And once you're done your semicircle, you can wash your brush. We are done with our red today. My dog's trying to eat my paint. All right, so once everybody's done their ladybug, we are gonna go back to our green color and we're gonna finish up this flower here. So we're gonna add those little green marks to the bottom of this flower here to make those little things that hold your flower in place. I'll share the screen just so you can see the shape of them. We're gonna have 2 of our lines going towards the ladybug and then 3 going towards the flower there. So as you can see here, 2 of our little lines going towards our ladybug. And they're like little mini leaves. And then 3 going up towards the flower there. And you can make, you can add more if you would like to. You can add less, whatever shapes you would like to. I'm going to add one extra to mine. So this is what mine looks like now from afar. And as you can see, I added one extra line to the bottom there. So I actually have 3 lines going towards my ladybug. But feel free to add 2, 3, 4, however many you want. And I'll share this one more time. Here. And then after that, you can wash your brush and we will be moving on to our second last step.
I lost your pic. I don't see you anymore.
Oh, I think I shared my wrong screen.
Oh, there you go. So may we see the picture again,
Of
please?
course. Is that better?
Yeah.
Perfect. So after those green lines there, we are going to be using our black. So we are going to be starting with another half circle for the little head of our ladybug here. We're going to be adding the dots and the antennas. So just to show you how I'm going to start that little head there, I have done another half circle, and then I'll fill it in, add my dots and my antenna. I will share the example again. So a little head first, our dots.
Could you please show your half circle again?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. So my little half circle here, and I'm just going to fill it in now.
Thank you.
No problem. And the example there has 5 dots on the ladybug's back, but feel free to add as many or as few as you would like to.
Can you show the picture again?
Yep.
Are we doing the antennas too?
Yes, we are going to be doing the antennas and the dots as well as that half circle. So for those antennas, you'll want to make your lines as thin as possible and then 2 little tiny dots on the top of there.
Yeah. Oops.
Here's my little ladybug here. That's just my dog playing with my door there. Oh, cute ladybug, Kelly.
Thanks very much, Claire, for everything.
No problem.
I really need to sign off, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining. And hopefully I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Kelly.
Thank you.
Are we putting in those little white streaks of white into the ladybug as well?
Yes, so that is our last step. Once you're done your ladybug, you're gonna go back to your white and just add two little, they're just, again, for more detail and shadow, like how we added our orange there. So you're gonna add a little white line on the top of the head and a little white line on the top of the back of the ladybug. I will share my screen and I'll even zoom into the ladybug just so you can get a better picture of that one. So here you can see the little white line on the back here and a little white line on the head. If I zoom in, oh, there we
I
go.
see.
Yeah, they're very, very small. So almost smaller than the lines of our antenna there, but they're just, again, to add a little bit more detailing and line to that ladybug. Feel free to, you don't have to add them. You can add them if you would like to. We want to make them super small and super thin.
So just as everyone finishes up the last couple of details on your paintings, I am just putting my email into the chat here. If you can please take a photo of your finished painting, and does not need to be tonight, but whenever you have finished up the last details, and I will put all of them together into a collage, and then we'll be able to see everyone's finished paintings. They look really, really awesome all together.
And if you would like to sign your painting, you can always sign the bottom corner with your initials or your name, just so everybody, if you want people to know who was the artist of your painting. Wonderful job, Heather. Looks great. I don't know if you can see the little white lines on mine. They're really tiny, but they are there.
Wow.
Oh, wow, David. It's beautiful.
You're very generous. I hope those bugs stay where they are. Or ladybug.
Exactly.
And then it's saying, thanks again. We'll see you next time too, okay?
Sounds good. Have a nice
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye, David.
Oh, great job, Andrea.
Thanks. I realized I should have waited until it was completely dry to do the white
And you can
highlight.
always
So
go over top of it too.
I might
Once-
try again.
Yeah, once it's fully.
So would I paint red over it and then try again with white once it's fully dry?
Yeah, so if your color's blended, you can always, even if your paint, like if your white is too thick, you can always go over half of it with the red, or if you completely cover it with your red and then try again once it's dry, you can do that too.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Beautiful, Danielle.
Nice.
Oh, Sue, I love your ladybug. He's so cute. Oh, great job, darling. I love your flower. Oh, Sue, very nice. Oh, Janice, I love the colors of your flower there.
Yeah, that looks great.
And Sharon too.
I always mess up the fine details, so I messed up my ladybug and then black smears and then it's a mess.
Oh, I think
So I'm just gonna let it sit and dry for a bit and then I'll try and do it. But
the nice thing about acrylic paint is even though your black is darker, because it is actually plastic based, if you paint red over top, it will cover your black too. So if there's
Yeah.
some black smudges in there, you can always touch it up later.
okay, that's what I'll do. I'll let it sit for a bit so I'm gonna sign it off. Thanks again, Claire.
No
Black-
problem.
Nice to see you guys.
You too.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you, Claire.
No problem.
All right, just while the last few of us finish up here, I will stop the recording here, but please feel free to stay on and finish up. Thank you so much, Claire.